Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Just got home from work. Wanted to give you a tour of the garden, how it's progressing, and talk about raised beds, frame beds, earth beds. Just show you some options that you can use in your garden. A couple of things to keep in mind is the difference between a framed bed and a raised bed. These are lower. These are 2 inches by 8 feet by 6 inches, and I kind of call these framed beds. They don't give you great benefit as a raised bed, but they do frame out the garden nicely, and it allows you to conserve resources. As we're going through this, I'm going to show you some options for dealing with the grass. You can certainly turn this all over, pull out the grass clumps. That's a perfect way to do it, except I'm doing so much and I do work full-time. I'm using painter's paper. It's pretty thick. This is 140 feet and I think it's about 12 bucks. And I just roll it down here, roll it down this side. There's a double layer right here, and then I put the fill right on top. Here's one bed that I set up. This has two, you see the wheelbarrow over there, 2 barrels full of the compost that I had bulk delivered here. I'll link the video, you can see that, and 2 dumps of just plain old topsoil mixed in with about 2/3 of that peat moss in there. So that was just mixed right on top, set up by putting that paper down, but this is good to go. I got my early tomatoes in. This is just to get them earlier in the season. Most of my tomatoes will go in at the end of April and the end or early May. So because there was paper down, the paper that I just showed you, when you're planting the shallower plants like radishes and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about the cardboard you might put down. Don't use plastic in your garden. You can use paper, cardboard. The radishes and the shallow root crops you can just plant right on here. When you dig in the tomatoes, don't worry about the paper. It's not decayed yet. It will decay by next year. Just dig the spade in, tear up the paper, pull out the grass, plant right into the garden just like this. The paper will stay where the grass is and you're not planting this year. It'll die back, earthworms will cut through it, it'll begin to blend together, and next year you can just turn this all over. But this is a quick and easy way to get your beds filled. So again, these were 2 inch wide, 8 feet long, 6 inches high. And the cost for that, about $8 or $9 a board. So you need 3 boards. You cut 1 in half for 4 feet. Always make your beds 4 feet by 8 feet, 4 feet by 6 feet, 4 feet by 4 feet, and that's because you can reach in with your arms from any angle. So that'll cost you about $24 to build this out of that wood. You can get the thinner wood here. These are 6 feet long, 2 feet wide. They're going all the way down my fence. This is where I'm going to plant beans and other climbing crops. These boards for a 6-foot board is about $6. So you're going to need $6, $12, $18 to build this, and you'll have some left over because you're using 2-foot sections right there. These are 8 inches high. The other one was 6 inches. As you get taller, like for instance, this was only 6 inches, you really need to put a barrier down because the grass and weeds can get through that. But as you start getting to 8 inches, 10 inches, you don't necessarily have to put a barrier down if you don't want to, or you can put a weaker barrier down. But this will cost you probably $10 a board, so this is about $30. And this is what I'm going to stop at for right now. Get these filled, get planting, and I'll slowly work my way to the rest of the garden. These are window wells. They were $17 each. There's 2 halves. You can bend that together and make a perfect circle, keep it an oval, and then you're just going to get bolted together there, or they can be tied together, and you can create a raised bed that way. That's galvanized. You can also get them in plastic. You can decide, what you want to use in your garden. I'm going to put my flowers in there and bring my pollinators into this section. Through the main path, I'm going to have these there for flowers. They could get moved, but working out the plan now. These are 10 inches tall. I don't have to put anything down here. I'll just fill them with dirt, and these are heavier and bigger. I think these are about $12 a board, so this was $36 or so to build. It's going to vary anyway in wherever state you live or what part of the world you live in. But I wanted these to be heavier because right here is going to be my cattle panel that's 16 feet, and it'll make a trellis here that'll be about 8 foot tall, and I'll be growing cucumbers or melons or beans or a combination of all 3 through here so that we could walk through. But the general idea is to have 2 beds like this, the cattle panel, something else, maybe flowers, another set of 10-inch beds right here, and then work my way down. If you don't want to spend the money on building raised beds, I understand that. You don't have to. The taller you get, they're like raised beds versus the shallow ones over there that are just more like frame beds. This will warm up sooner. You can plant in here sooner. It's deep enough to grow nice carrots, any of your root crops. You can really put a nice loose soil and get a nice deep root in there for like carrots or anything else that grow into the ground, parsnips. Because I have clay soil, if I tried to grow straight into this, they all get twisted and they don't really develop well. So you need a higher raised bed, loose soil. If you don't want to build raised beds, you don't have to. This is my asparagus patch, and you can just remove the soil, remove the grass, loosen it up, amend it how you need to, and just plant in a row. Eventually these pieces of grass will be removed, mulch will go on top of here, and then another row is going to go right down here. So this is sort of going to be my raised bed area, and then down here is going to be more of the earth beds. But you can really take these ideas and use them any way that you want. Nothing's been leveled yet. I'm going to level that after everything is built. All the mulch is down. I'll worry about leveling later. The other thing that I decided to make is just a little deck here for my container plants. They're not going to sit like that. These are different fruit vines that I ordered as bare roots, so they're just getting established there. But I'm going to have container plants in here. I'm going to have flowers, vegetables. My green stalk tower is going to go right here, and that was made out of fencing panel, and these were I think $1.59 each, and then just some 2x4s. And really to make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, about 25. So this is really probably about $40 to make altogether. But this is just a nice way to create something sturdy, and I can create my vertical gardens here. I can put pots down here. I can bring in even more pollinators. Hope you enjoyed the video. This gives you some idea of how to use raised beds, frame beds, window wells, all kinds of different things, plain old earth bed back there in your vegetable garden. Over here real quick, I have my hedge of blueberries. These were planted much more closely together than recommended to create the hedge. And again, those are bare root blueberries that I ordered. They're in pots now getting established. But I wanted to set these up so that I had a walking space through here for harvesting, and I could really build a frame over them if I need to, because I'm going to I suspect that the birds are going to come and eat these. So I'm going to have to build something over here. So I wanted all the fruit canes and the blueberry bushes in one space so I could build a cage over them. And we'll see how that goes. Because it's my first year, I'm going to learn about all the pests, the diseases, all the problems. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Gives you some idea of how to use different frame beds, raised beds, and all that in your garden. Thanks for watching, and please check out my YouTube channel and my seed shop at www.therustedgarden.com. Thanks for watching.